What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. It's Monday, January 29th. Hope you had a great weekend. And in this video, we're going to review High Tide's recent earnings, their fourth quarter 2023 and full fiscal 2023 results. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. Stock was down about 4% after hours, and spoiler alert, they did miss analyst estimates. But I did a video yesterday, an earnings prep video, and pretty much exactly what I mentioned in that video happened. And I'll go over my thoughts and opinions and a review and some highlights of these earnings. But before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, make sure to give us a follow over on X, which is formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Tons of subs over the last couple of weeks, so I really do appreciate it. Love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. And you can see here I did post that out about over 2 hours ago now. So it's the best way for me to get real-time updates out to the community. And this is the video I posted yesterday. You can see here 20 hours ago, High Tide Inc. Q4 and fiscal 2023 earnings prep and analysis. And in that earnings prep video, I had forecasted that we could expect 127.93 million in terms of revenue, and I said that I expected a miss in the end. I thought they'd come in around 127. It'd be a slight miss in terms of revenue, and then I expected EPS. I just thought they were going to miss altogether based on the last few quarters. We've seen a ton of growth, and it was more than likely due for a cool down. And this same time last year is when we started to cool down as well. If we take a look here, that's where we stalled out, right around that January to March area. And then we kind of went flat. But as we know, it's been up and to the right in terms of revenue. But essentially what I did was I added the investing.com estimate, which was 130.17. And then I divided it by the estimates from Moomoo, and I added the two together, and then I divided them. And then that gave me, so it was 130.17 plus 125.7 divided by 2 gave me 127.93, and it actually came in at 127.1. You can see here 127.1 million, and then basic and diluted loss per share came in at negative 0.39. So again, we were expecting negative 0.04, and in that video, I see if I can fast forward a little bit here and grab that exact. I think I had forecasted negative 0.04 or just under that. Here it is, yeah. Negative 0.036 was the estimate in terms of analyst estimates, but I was expecting them to miss. So pretty much exactly what I had expected. I said in that video that I expected 127.9 million, came in at 127.1, and then I expected a miss overall in terms of analyst estimates, and we missed big time in terms of EPS. So the stock was down after hours. We just bring up Moomoo here. It was down. Actually, it was down to 188, and now it's back up to 198. So I don't know if there's any news here that happened after hours. We'll just take a quick peek here and see. Up 1% after hours. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything right here at the moment, but we'll keep an eye out. Oh, it's back down to 140 there now. So we'll keep an eye out for that, but we were down about 4% there after hours. And then we'll take a look at some of the articles that came out. So High Tide releases audited 2023 financial results featuring record fourth quarter revenue of 127.1 million and record adjusted EBITDA of 8.4 million and record free cash flow of 5.7 million respectively. And they go over some key highlights here. We'll go over company increases positive cash flow run rate from 4.1 million in the third quarter fiscal quarter of 2023 to 5.7 million in the fourth quarter fiscal quarter of 2023, representing a sequential increase of 40%. And annual revenue run rate is approaching 510 million, maintaining High Tide's position as Canada's top revenue generating MJ company, and that's non-franchised as well. And the company celebrated its 15th consecutive quarter and its 5th straight quarter of record positive adjusted EBITDA. Same store sales increased 13% year over year and 3% sequentially. And the company maintains its position as the largest non-franchised MJ retailer in Canada with 163 current locations and 4.9 million total customers across Canada, the United States, and Europe. And keep in mind, these are only going to be areas that are going to continue to increase. And as we know, we're going to see an increase in store count in Ontario from 75 to 150. That's going to be huge. And we're still not seeing nationwide distribution yet. We're still not in the Atlantic provinces as well. So there's still lots of room to grow here in Canada. And then they also talk about they're currently eyeing the German opportunity as well, right? And they talk about the reform potential in the US, and that's going to be another massive growth catalyst, right? So there's so much growth here just to continue with Canada, let alone, you know, factoring in the United States and Germany and Europe, the rest of Europe. It truly is a staggering amount of growth that the company could experience over the next 5-10 plus years. It's going to be very, very high growth years over the next, you know, several years, in my opinion. And there was some news out today where we're seeing more pressure from the leaders in office and different. I forget who it was. I think it was a governor or something like that today. See if I can bring up the article here real quick. So the news came out today. U.S. Senator and Congressman urge feds to fully legalize MJ rather than reschedule it. So I don't think that's the most likely scenario, but we're not that far away, in my opinion. I think it could be, you know, a few years where we see full-blown descheduling, and they'll treat it in the U.S. the same as they treat alcohol and tobacco, more than likely. But they talk about some of their growth in terms of their elite membership, which I'm probably going to sign up for that. I think they said $60 per year. Right now it's on for sale here for $35 for the year, and they said it might even drop to $30 around Valentine's Day, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, like I said, in terms of the Ontario store count doubling from 175 to 150, that's going to be huge as well. We'll just go through a little bit quicker here. So you can see here negative 0.39 for the EPS for the quarter and 127.1 million. Scroll down here. If you want to grab and there's also going to be a conference call tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll try to join that. I'll try to see if I can stream it online as well. I'll see if I can make that happen, if I can stream it like I normally done with Tilray, and then that way it's easily accessible. But I wanted to bring up the MD&A here, management discussion and analysis. Discusses some of their brands, goes over a high-level overview of the company, corporate overview, corporate update. So yeah, they talk about, again, just some of the success with the Canna Cabana Club and then the elite membership. Let's see here, now has a membership base of over 1.28 million across Canada. Wow. So paid memberships in the elite category is now over 28,000. And I expect that to continue to grow. Essentially, the elite membership, there's in the store, if you go into Canna Cabana, there's like 2 sections of the shelf that you can only buy if you have the elite membership. So if you don't have the elite, you can't buy it at all. And I think there's one drink that was normally like $8 on for $4, and then there were some edibles that were normally like $3 or $4 on for like $1.50. So there's some pretty decent savings in there as well. And you talk about free cash flow. Ontario increasing 75 to 150 per entity is welcoming news. And like I said, they've said they're focusing on Germany as well. Let's go through this. Okay, so yeah, revenue 127.1. I wanted to bring up their amount of shares as well and their cash and cash equivalents. Yeah, so they had a total impairment loss of 34.265 million. So that really hurt them for this quarter. And then if we go a little bit further down, actually I might just do a quick search here because there's a lot in these MD&As. Yeah, let's just take a look here. Cash equivalents. All right. During the year ended 2023, the company had an overall increase in cash of 5.037 million and cash equivalents to 30.121 million. And in 2022, for comparison, was 25.084 million. Then I wanted to bring up the shares here as well. Common shares. Let's see here. So yeah, they factor in the loss from operations and the loss per share. Common shares. So units outstanding, they have 75,299,147 shares outstanding. So if you divide the loss by that, that'll give you your EPS for the quarter. And I think that's it in terms of all of those. Like I said, it's a very lengthy. It'd take me an hour or more, probably a couple of hours to go through this whole thing. but obviously the impairment loss and still seeing a loss nonetheless, right? It was no wonder that we were down here after hours. Let's take another quick peek. It says we're flat here after hours, and sitting at 191 here on TradingView as well. We were down, like I said, I think around 4 or 5% after hours, but starting to trend back up the other way. So like I said in this video, I mentioned I expected 127 million, and I expected a miss in terms of analyst estimates, and that's exactly what happened. We had a big miss in terms of EPS, and pretty much in line exactly with what I was thinking in terms of revenue. But not surprising to see the stock down a little bit after hours, but obviously, Germany, the potential for reform in the US is going to be massive for the stock. And then we'll see, potentially I think we could see Germany come online. I think we'll see a vote sometime next month in February. I've already done a video on this, and then more than likely pass in April, and then it's going to pave the way for in the end of the year or early 2025, where we'll see a lot of operations start to spin up there from High Tide and other retailers as well, and other producers. But exciting times ahead. We have tons of things just from a reform perspective in the US, and then here in Canada they're working on the MJ Act as well, so we could see improvements to packaging, labeling, distribution, taxation, all this stuff, which we know is huge, increasing the edibles from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams. We have safer banking, we have rescheduling, we have Florida potentially on the ballot for 2024, and then potentially enacted into law in 2025. So we have tons of growth catalysts on the horizon. And then, like I said, Ontario increasing that from 75 to 150 is only going to benefit these companies, especially High Tide, even more so. So let me know what you think of this, what you thought of the earnings today, what you think of this video, if you agree with me, disagree with me on certain aspects. But I think that High Tide is going to be an absolute monster in 3, 5 plus 10 plus years from now, right? Definitely one of my biggest holdings in my portfolio. It's by far my biggest retail holding. And like I said, full transparency, I do own it. And this is not financial advice. You should never ever buy anything or sell anything based on anything that I write or anything that I say. But like I said, overall, great report. Not surprising to kind of see them stall out a little bit. I wouldn't even be surprised if next quarter they continue to stall out or even see a little bit of a decrease in those sales and revenue. But in my opinion, that wouldn't be anything to worry about. And it's going to take them a while to get these extra stores in Ontario up as well, which is going to be CapEx requirements, right? So it's going to be a little bit more, we have to be a little bit more patient, but the amount of growth is staggering that we have ahead just in Canada, and then factor in Europe, factor in the US, and then the rest of the world, right? So it's exciting times, but going to end it there. It's Rod with Pow Group. Like I said, I'll try my best to get on the earnings call tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, and if I can, I'll live stream it, but I'll do my best to join and give everybody a recap of that. All right, thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. It's Rod with Pow Group, and we shall see you on the next video. Take care.